Yo, hey guys, it's poppin', Jacques Slade here, back with another unboxing, and today I've got an Air Max 270 that you have never seen before. Better yet, you've never seen one just like this.
Are you ready? That future hit.
Who wants to start? 10,000, 11,000, 17, 20,000, 22, 25,000, 27. Todd, anything you want to say?
I don't know, I'm speechless.
27 once, 29, George, 30,000. We're at 32 here in the front row. 35, 37, Todd, 37 once. You're gonna have to call it.
How much?
38 for Cheryl. So what if we did this? How about both of you? Are you both in for 40? Let's make it happen. All right? 40,000. Cheryl and Todd. How's that? You made 80 grand.
So as you just saw, this shoe sold for double $40,000. I know technically double $40,000 is $80,000, but technically it was only 40 a piece because two different people bought the shoe for $40,000. If that makes any sense to you, you know what I'm talking about. Don't give me a hard time about that. Anyway, let's hop right into the shoe and get a good look. The shoe is designed by Aiden Barber. He has a brain vascular malformation, and his shoe is really dope. There's a lot of like really key details inside of his shoe that I think you guys are really gonna love. And here is our first look, and there you go. Got a little mixed up there. Let me get both of these out of the box so I can break this down to you guys, because he really thought through his design, which is something that I really appreciate. That the young guy really put in the work to get his design where it needed to be. So the Air Max 270 is obviously one of the hottest shoes that's out right now. These are mad comfortable. If you don't have a pair of 270s already, I suggest you add these to your roster. So let me actually, you know what, before I get into the details about these, I want you to find out a little bit more about Aiden, so check this out.
Aiden didn't have symptoms. He's treated by a local neurologist, and she happened to notice that he had something called clonus, where his foot would tap when she would pull it back. That's indicative of cerebral palsy.
I just twitched it, and then they did it again, and
She referred us to Doernbecher, to Dr. Slade. That was when we identified that it was not CP. It was a cavernous malformation on his sensory cortex on the right side of his brain.
He said that we didn't have to have it removed, but if it ruptured, that at minimum he would be paralyzed. And that really helped us determine what we needed to do.
We actually made the decision right there. It was terrifying. First question he asked was, "Have you told my sister?"
my sister, she's always by my side. We get on our games, talk to each other.
And he sat her down and he put his hand on her hand and he said,
"Sissy, I need to have brain surgery," and she just started crying.
it was almost surreal to go through the whole experience. That was the hardest thing I've ever done. We walked into the hospital very uncertain, very nervous, obviously. Aiden walked into it. You would never know that he was walking in to have brain surgery.
I remember they put the mask on me, and I was breathing into it, and I remember deep, dark voices. It kind of sounded like going in slow motion, made me go to sleep. And then I waked up, and it was like a whole new world kind of way.
Doernbecher is a special place because we have outcomes like Aiden.
Our experience at Doernbecher was amazing. They treated us like family. They reassured us. They went so far above and beyond that I couldn't imagine going anywhere else. I mean, just to have Dr. Slade and the people at Doernbecher, I mean, that's like winning the lottery.
So as you can see, Aiden, just an amazing kid. Big shout out to Aiden. I got a chance to meet him when I was in Portland for the auction, and just a really super cool kid. He was honestly the best dressed person in the room when we did some interviews with him, and just like a super cool kid. So let's break down his design. Again, this is the Air Max 270, and the biggest thing about his design is obviously the upper. It has camo here all over the upper on both of the shoes, and that was actually inspired by his cousin. His cousin is in the Army, so he wanted to do a design that was inspired by his cousin in his uniform, so that's why he put these in camo. According to Aiden, his cousin is the bravest person that he knows, and he's fighting for what he believes in, which is super dope. I really appreciate that sentiment. And looking to family as a hero, looking to family as an inspiration, Aiden being able to look up to his cousin in the Army, I think is a pretty cool thing. All right, now let's take a further look at the design. You see it has the black and the gold. The reason that we have the gold here is because gold is just one of Aiden's favorite colors. He has it on here on his shoes. He has it on like some of the icons here on the heel, on the tongue, on the heel pull, and it's also on a lot of his clothes and on his backpack, and they all have like this gold look to them that looks really dope, and it actually goes really well with the camo. You wouldn't kind of put those two things necessarily together right away, but when you see them put together, you see how they work together. All right, next thing is the AB. So his name is Aiden Barber, so that's why they have the AB there. It's on the tongue, but then you also see that on the heel of the shoe as well, which is a very nice touch. Kind of have your own thing when people walking behind you, they get to see the AB, but it actually goes further than that. And this is where I really love how Aiden thought about his shoe. He really thought about the details. So he has AB for Aiden Barber, but his sister, her name is Abigail Barber, and he and his sister are like super close. He calls her Sissy, as you saw in the video, and they're just super tight. So Aiden Barber and then Abigail Barber. And fun fact about Aiden and his sister, they're actually born on the exact same day, but 1 year apart. So they're not twins, but they do have the exact same birthday, which is pretty cool. Now, taking these even a step further past Aiden Barber and Abigail Barber, he actually has a hang tag on here that's dedicated to his sister, and it's a picture of a mermaid because they're so close. As you saw in the video, they're close enough that he actually sat his sister down and let her know that he needed brain surgery, and that kind of broke my heart a little bit. And somebody started cutting onions in the room because I was tearing up a little bit. But then the final thing about the AB, so it has his name, his sister's name, dedicated the mermaid to his sister, but if you look at the bottom of the shoes, it says always believe. Again, AB, something that Aiden really believes in. As he said himself, he always believed that he was going to be okay after his brain surgery, and he is okay. So we have always believe there on the outsole, but then you also have always believe here right on the mid panel. It goes down there across the mid panel, and it's on both of the shoes as well, which I think is a very nice touch. But having it here within the translucent outsole on the outsole, I think is a very nice touch. And again, the Air Max 270 is just one of the most comfortable shoes out there. So if you haven't had a pair, make sure you get a pair. Now, final details. Have gold tips here on the laces. So if you like a little fancy lace tips, then you have those here. And then the detail that's kind of hidden is on the inside, and it's his logo in a sense. For the Doernbecher program, the designers always kind of create a logo for each one of the kids. And for Aiden, it is a picture of a brain, and the brain has a titanium plate on it as part, which is what Aiden actually has inside of his head when they removed the vascular malformation. I hope I'm saying that right, Aiden. They had to put in a titanium plate into his head, and they put basically a picture of that here for his logo on his shoes, and it's also on his apparel and backpack as well. So big shout out to Aiden. So for those that are looking to get these, you don't have to pay $40,000. These will go to retail. I believe they're going to be $150. They launch on December 14th. They'll be available on sneakers, so make sure you hit that notify button so that you know when the shoes are actually going to release. Again, big shout out to the folks over at Doernbecher. Big shout out to the folks over at Nike. I appreciate you allowing me to tell this story. I have one more story to tell you guys, and it is literally the biggest shoe in the collection. So big shout out to Aiden. Big shout out to Doernbecher. Big shout out to Nike. Thank you for having me a part. If you haven't already, make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe, because there'll be more stuff about Doernbecher program. And again, make sure you turn on your notifications on sneakers if you want to cop the Air Max 270 Aiden Barber. Big shout out to Aiden. As always, guys, I appreciate you. and I'll see you soon. Peace.